past the silver screen. Steven, JT, Bruce, let's look past them together.
What is going on, everybody? This is JT, and I'm here to give you my spoiler-free thoughts and opinions on The Death of Robin Hood from A24. I just got home from seeing it, and I have a lot to talk about. First and foremost, it stars Hugh Jackman, Jodie Comer, and Bill Skarsgård. Those are our three big players in this film. There are other actors and actresses in it, but those three are our big ones. Second off, I know a little, just very small, very minimal, about Robin Hood, about the legend of Robin Hood. And this movie does a really good job at, telling you, hey, those stories that you heard and all the tales and what you might know about Robin Hood, let's rethink those because that may not be true. Robin Hood was actually, not who we thought he was, especially in this movie. This movie is following the tail end of his life, obviously with the title being what it is. This is a more rugged, more grittier, darker version of Robin Hood. And while he is still doing what he has always been doing, he's kind of a little slower. He's a little older. I mean, you kind of have to pick and choose what you want to do from now on. And let's start with the negatives and then end off on the positives with my review. One of my, I don't really call it a negative per se, but it is very dialogue heavy. And you've got to pay attention. You've got to be, just locked in on each scene where it's one character talking to another or something happening in the scene. You've got to just be locked in because if you look away, you go to the bathroom, do something, you're going to miss something. But the pace is very, very slow. And it works with this style of movie because it is that grittier tone. It is that darker tone where you kind of have to say whoa, let's sit back and kind of, assess what we just saw. But it is slow. It's, 2 hours and some change for the length of it. And you definitely feel that at times. You really do. On to my positives because I think there are a lot of them. First and foremost, the acting and just how everybody absolutely just does a phenomenal job in this, this movie. Jodie Comer, I loved her character. Bill Skarsgård, I didn't even know it was him until midway through the movie. And I looked over at my wife and I was like, I think that's Bill Skarsgård. I'm almost positive it was. And sure enough, it really was. And I mean, just shout out to Hugh Jackman. I actually am going to say this right here, right now. This is Hugh Jackman's best performance that I've ever seen. He absolutely does a fantastic job at playing this older version of Robin Hood. Now, I know what you're going to say, and I know what you're going to type in the comments or you're going to tell your friends. Is this kind of like Old Man Logan? Haven't we seen this version of Hugh Jackman before? Yes and no. There are similarities between Old Man Logan and old, Robin Hood. There are similarities there, but not what you think. This one is completely different tonally. It's different, and I think it just has this different gravitas to Robin Hood. While I do think they're both in that, later part of their lives and they have to protect, the young and they have to do what they need to do before the end all be all. I think that's really, you're finding similarities that are just character traits, not the acting and the performance, of the characters and of Hugh Jackman. So yes, while there are some similarities, I think they're tonally and totally different. I also think that the cinematography in this was gorgeous. I mean, just the scenes of, Robin Hood and Little John walking through the forest. You literally just see them and then the camera will pan out and it's this giant mountain, this giant, huge terrain, and it just looked gorgeous. I absolutely loved it. It got me into a Renaissance fair vibe. It just gets me in this, you're in Scotland, you're out in the wilderness. I don't know, the vibes of it were just immaculate in this movie. I also really enjoyed the soundtrack because it did feel that that Scottish, that that overseas vibe to it. I can't really put my, words to my feelings with that soundtrack and with that cinematography, but I wanted to be there. Like, I wanted to be on the set and see how this is filmed because it was awesome. I forgot to add one more thing to my negatives. I really was hoping to see more action in this, because when the action is there and when you see all this going on, it is crazy. It is brutal. It is bloody. I mean, it's wild. Some of the things that happen in this movie, I was like, whoa, that's insane. But there's not a lot of it, and I wish there was. That was my only like real big, nitpick of it. I also think it's kind of difficult at times to understand the dialogue between characters, because there is an accent put on these characters, and when you are listening to them and they're trying to make their voice low and then there's background noise, it's very difficult to kind of pick up what they're saying. But overall, I enjoyed this movie. I was intrigued from the very first trailer. I was very excited to see it. I'm a huge fan of A24. I love these style of movies. I was telling my wife in the car, something about that old, like, The Death of Robin Hood, The Testament of Anne Lee, and Hamnet all have this older vibe to it. And I love that genre. I don't even know what to call it. Maybe comment down below if you know what kind of genre that is, because I don't. But it's like that old school, like older historical vibe to it. I don't know, but that's what I love about those films. I love the performances, the acting, the cinematography, the score. I wish it was a little, the runtime was a little less than what we got. Especially with the slow pace. And I wish we got more action. But overall, The Death of Robin Hood, from me, gets a 4.5 out of 5. I truly enjoyed this film. I wish more people would be excited for it. I know the marketing is not the best for it, but you got to go see it and check it out for yourself, because I promise you, you will not walk away disappointed. You'll actually probably sit there and be like, whoa, let me reassess what I know about Robin Hood, because, hey, even though I know a little bit about him, I was kind of like, now I want to dig deeper in the lore and the understanding of who Robin Hood is. But overall, I really enjoyed the movie. Like I said, a 4.5 out of 5 for me. If you've seen the movie already, comment down below, no spoilers, and let me know. But until then, guys, I'll catch you next time.
Let's look past them together.